Hey, good morning, guys. This video is going to be a little bit different than what you're normally used to seeing. I was in an office building, and I wasn't really able to talk freely and make the video the way I wanted to. So I had to record everything and then do a voiceover. This is a 15 series Follett. 15 and 17 series Folletts are basically the same thing. The storage bin's a little bit bigger on one of them. We had serviced the machine the day prior, and then overnight it decided to start leaking. So this is just me showing up, seeing what it looks like when it's off due to a leak, and then the process of trying to pinpoint where it's coming from, fixing it, and then starting it back up. Hope you enjoy. Here we go, getting started. So this one was leaking in the back, not the drip tray. So you get the phone and the wrench and the check for leaks. I took out the ice spout by screwing it out and then slid the drip tray forward. Take out those two screws on the bottom, and then you can lift the front panel out and disconnect the water and the plug for the touchpad in the front. The top panel just comes up and out, and then you can set that off to the side. These machines are super small and compact, kind of hard to work on just because of limited space. But yeah, like I said, take out those 4 screws, and then each one of the side panels will just pop off in the front, and they have little hinges on the back. Push it back and then pull it out. Same for the left side, just like that. Set that one off to the side as well. There's my dripping down onto the floor. Me taking it apart and moving it made it all a little worse. I think I'm just doing a visual inspection right now, just seeing if I can actually see any water dripping, where it's coming from. I kind of figured that I need to turn it on and let it run. That's probably going to be the best option. The check for leaks light is on my control board. I had already spent some time drying up the water and drying off my spade connector in the back, where it actually indicates whether or not you're leaking. It has 2 little probes that hang down, and when water touches them, it shuts off. Right back there is kind of the probe the 2 metal probes I'm talking about. They're silver. They have 2 screws on them, and if you see that red spade connector, I'd actually pushed that off of that probe because I was trying to get it to come out of check for leaks mode, and I had totally forgotten that there's a reset button on the control board that you have to press and hold in order to clear that check for leaks error. So I did that, and I started it up, and then I just kind of spent a couple minutes looking for leaks. I couldn't find any leaks. So what I did was I drained the water out of it, turned it off, drained the water out of it, and then took the gear motor off. The main reason why I took the gear motor off is that I wanted to remove that piece of styrofoam so I can get a better look. I kind of know that the leak is coming from that area just based off where the water's coming from and where it's wet, but I couldn't quite pinpoint the exact location. Just figured getting that piece of styrofoam out of my way would make it easier. I think the machine's up and running right now. Still am having a hard time pinpointing where this leak is coming from. So decided to get a pitcher of water. I'm just going to add water into the storage bin and see if it starts leaking. These machines don't have any drains, so as the ice in the bin leaks, it just sits in the bottom of the bin, and then it'll travel into the water reservoir, and it makes ice out of the previously melted ice. I had thought that possibly overnight the ice melted a little bit in the bin, raised the water level in the bin, and then caused the leak, and then I just needed to raise the water level. And see, you can see water flowing now. So like I said, raise the water level in the in the storage bin, and then in the water tray, and then in that whole evaporator compartment. Raise it up high enough to wherever the overflow point is. Maybe that's where it was leaking from, and I was correct. I'm trying to get a good shot of where exactly the water's coming from. So right where that hex head or the Allen head screw is, there's a retaining clip and a 1/4 inch piece of plastic tubing. That tubing is actually a vent tube to allow air to escape from the evaporator compartment, but it looks like it's not all the way down inside of its hole like it's supposed to be. It's sticking out a little bit, and that's where the water's coming out. Like I said earlier, unfortunately on these machines, you basically have to take the whole thing apart to work on anything. I took out the water filter. I disconnected the transport tube that puts ice in the bin. I disconnected some other wires. I disconnected the drain hose on this and lifted it up out of, there's a drain hose. Lifted it up out of the way, and I'm going to disconnect the power for the bin. Oh yeah, side note, I probably shouldn't have done this. This was just a mistake on my part. I took those spade connectors off, but then to put them back on, you have to pretty much disassemble the whole back of the machine just to reconnect those spade connectors. There's my 1/4 inch vent tube. I think I had already taken it out. Oh, no, I haven't. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off the gear motor, get that out of my way, and then loosen up those. There's actually 3 screws. I'm only going to loosen up the one, take off that retaining clip, pull that 1/4 inch hose out of the way, use my razor blade, clean up the tip of it just in case maybe there's a gouge on it, maybe there's a loose piece of whatever on the end of it that's causing it to leak. So I'm just going to cut it, start with a fresh tip, and then I put some Taylor lube on it, some food grade, I think it's like for the Taylor freezes, for the ice cream machines or whatever. But put some of that on there, shoved it down inside the hole, and reattached the retaining clip. Now it's going to be time to just, excuse me, now it's just going to be time to put the rest of it back together. I think I set the storage bin in place already. Reattach my water trough. I needed to reconnect that leak sensor. It's actually for the drip tray, but there you go. I filled it up with water, letting it sit. Make sure that it's not leaking anymore. I think I let it sit for about 5 to 10 minutes, and then I came back and checked everything again. I think I have to turn it back on, let it run, and then also wait another 5 to 10 minutes, make sure it doesn't leak. I actually spent a little bit more than that, maybe like 15 minutes, just because I didn't want the customer to get upset. Let it run, let it make ice. There's the ice, and that's it. That's how you check for leaks and fix leaks, and hope you enjoyed.